Hello friends, this video on work and energy part 1 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Topics to be covered in this lesson are introduction, scientific definition of work, work by a constant force, energy, kinetic energy, potential energy, law of conservation of energy, and rate of doing work. So, what are we going to study in this lesson? Work and energy. We are all familiar with the term work, right? Because we do so much of work on daily basis. All of you go to schools, you attend your classes, you study so hard, you prepare for your exams, you play games. So you do different types of work, right? So in this lesson, we are going to study what is work as per science. I mean, what is the scientific definition of work? How do we define work? How do we measure the work done by a person? So basically, we are going to study work in terms of science. Okay. So now when we study work, we will also talk about energy because work and energy are very closely related. You will get to know as we go ahead with the lesson. So when I think of work, what are the kind of things that come to my mind? These kind of work. Suppose a person pulling or pushing a trolley. So he is doing some work because he is applying some force. He is making use of his energy and he is doing some work. A boy studying so hard. We say that he is doing work, right? Somebody who is skipping is also considered to be working. When you are climbing the stairs, you are going to a second floor or third floor using stairs, you say that you are doing a lot of physical work. When you go for shopping, you buy stuffs and then you push your trolley. Again, you say that you are doing work. When you go for workout, you go to gym for exercise. Again, you feel that you are doing work. Similarly, during cycling, you are putting so much of efforts and you say that you are doing work. So in all these scenarios, we feel that we are doing work. Why? Because in all these activities, we get tired. So when do we get tired actually? When we lose energy, right? Correct? See, energy and work, these two are such terms which we use in our day-to-day life. I mean, like for example, when sometimes your friend calls you a day before your exam and you say, hey, I'm working hard for my exams, right? So you know what is work. You already know what is work even before you study this lesson on work in your physics, right? So work and energy are something which we are aware of the terms in our day-to-day life. Work means any activity, whether it is physical activity or mental activity, which makes us tired after some time. That is what is known as work for us, right? Similarly, what is energy for us? When we think of energy, it is like when we have a lot of energy, we can do a lot of work. After doing a lot of work, we get tired and then we don't have much energy, right? So that is what we understand by work and energy in layman terms, right? So let us look at the definition of work and energy of day-to-day life, the definition which we commonly use in our day-to-day life. For example, you're playing with your friend or you are fighting with your friend with the help of you're throwing balloons, water balloons on each other. So again, in that case also you will tend to, after fighting with him for such a long time, you will tend to get tired. So what are you doing? You are working. That's how we understand work, right? So definitions of day-to-day life. It says any activity involving mental or physical effort done in order to achieve a purpose. So in layman's terms, any activity, it can be physical, it can be mental. When I talk of mental activity, you can think of the example of studying. While studying, we are just sitting on a chair. We are not moving here and there, right? So it doesn't involve any physical activity. All that is involved is mental activity. We are thinking about something. And that mental activity also tends to make us tired after some time. So it can be any physical activity like skipping or pushing a trolley. So any such activity which is done in order to achieve a purpose. So that is how we understand work as. So what do we understand energy? Energy is the strength required to do sustained work. In order to do work, we need strength, and that strength is nothing but energy. For example, you would have heard most of your moms would be asking you that, okay, drink a glass of milk, it will give you energy, right? They'll force you to eat more because that will give you energy, because you will get strength to work hard. You would have observed that when it's been long that you have eaten something, and then you tend to feel hungry. That time you're not much energetic. That time you don't feel like doing a lot of work and all, right? So that is how we understand energy and work in our day-to-day life. But what we are going to study in this lesson is that what is work in terms of science. So we will start with scientific definition of work. How does science define work? Work is said to be done when application of a force causes displacement of an object. So by now you are aware of the terms force and displacement. What is force? Force is the amount of force which you are applying on anything. We have already talked about force. Force is the cause of motion, right? In the lesson on motion, we talked about force. So when we apply force on something, and due to the application of that force, that object displaces from its position, only then we say that work is done. So we are aware of displacement. Displacement means the object changes its position. So that means, let us take a small example. There was a ball which was lying on the table. We applied some force with our hand. Due to the application of the force, the ball started moving. So the ball got displaced from this point to this point. So that means this force which we applied caused a displacement of the ball. So we say that we have done work. So work is done, right? So this is how work is defined in terms of science. So whenever application of a force causes displacement of an object, only then work is done. Okay, now let us look at some of the examples. Let us see the examples which we were using so far. In our day-to-day life, are all the examples which we consider as work, are they considered as work by science? Let us look at them. The first example, this little boy studying so hard for his exams, right? So do you think he is applying any force physically? Because here the work which we are talking about is all mental activity. So physically he is not doing anything, he is simply sitting on a chair, right? So he is not applying any force. Is there any displacement? There is no displacement. So that means no work is done. Even though this little boy is working so very hard, he is getting so tired even after 2-3 hours of prolonged study, but still, as per science, the work done in this case is zero, because science defines work as any force which causes displacement. Now let us suppose if this small boy only, instead of studying, if he pushes the book on the table and the book moves from one position to another position, we say that he has done work, because he is applying some force on the book and the book gets displaced from one point to another, right? So the first example, in the first example, as per science, work done is zero. The next example, where the boy is skipping, in that case what is happening? He is applying some force, right? And because of the force, there is some change in position of the rope, right? The rope with which you actually do skipping, when you apply some force, the rope keeps changing its position. So that means there is some work done. Similarly, the example of this boxing, two boxers fighting hard with each other. So they are applying force, and that force is causing displacement. It causes displacement of their maybe faces, their hands, arms, and so it is actually causing some change in position. Similarly, this man trying to push a trolley, again the trolley is changing its position, the trolley is actually moving, so we say that work is done. Same scenario here also, this lady is pushing her shopping trolley, so work is done. Or this lady on a bicycle, she's riding the bicycle, so she's applying some force on the bicycle, and as a result the bicycle is getting displaced from its position. Or even in your gym you are applying some force and there is some displacement, even though you are not moving from one position to another, but the force which you are applying on the object, that object is moving. You have those pedals, right? So you apply force and the pedals move. So these are some of the examples, right? So now how do we mathematically express the work done by any object or the work done by any person? So as I mentioned, work is said to be done when application of force causes displacement of an object. So how do we mathematically express work? Work is defined as the product of force and displacement, where F is the force applied and S is the displacement produced. So the product of force and displacement gives us the work that is done. Let us now look at the units which are used to measure work, like how we spoke about force. For force we have Newton. Similarly for work we have the SI unit joule, which is generally denoted by a capital J. So how do we define 1 joule? 1 joule is the amount of work done on an object when a force of 1 Newton displaces the object by 1 meter. That means, now as per definition also we know that work done is equal to force multiplied by displacement. So when I define, how do I define 1 joule of work? 1 joule of work is when 1 Newton force displaces an object by 1 meter. So then we say that the work done is 1 joule. Sometimes bigger units are also used, like kilojoules. So 1 kilojoule is equal to 1000 joules. Right? Okay. Now let us look at some of the examples where work done is equal to 0. For example, let us suppose there is this lady who is standing with a book of mass 2 kgs, but she is just standing. She is not moving anywhere. So do you think, forget about the scientific definition of work. What we understand in our layman's terms, do you think she is doing some work? We do think, right? Because when you are carrying some object of heavy mass for a long time, you tend to feel tired. So we say that, oh, I got so tired because I was holding this 5 kg book for 2 hours. So my hands are aching and I am tired. So we feel that we lose energy even though we were standing at the same place. But since we were carrying a heavy load, so we tend to get tired. But when we talk of science, in this scenario, the work done is equal to 0 because there is no displacement involved. The lady is standing at the same point. Even though she is carrying a heavy mass, even though she is getting tired, but still, since there is no displacement, therefore the work done is 0. Similarly, let us take another example. Let us suppose this guy is trying, there is a heavy box which is extremely heavy and it is lying on the ground, right? This guy is applying a huge amount of force on this box to make it move. So he is applying a force, he is trying his best. So do you think that the guy is not doing any work? As per our understanding, as per the layman's terms, we think that he is doing a lot of work because he is putting in so much of effort. He gets tired after some time. He loses all his energy. But as per science, the work done is 0 because the object doesn't move. Right? So, if either your force is 0 or your displacement is 0, in both the cases, the work done will be 0. So, in this case, what happens? He is applying some force F, but the displacement is 0. Therefore, work is equal to 0. Right? Now, if in this case only, if it would have been like the box would have moved even a bit, in that case, we would have said that some work is done. So work done is always 0 when either the force applied is 0, either the person is not applying any force, or the person is applying a lot of force but the displacement is 0. So in both the cases, work done will be equal to 0. Now we have something called positive and negative work. So there are 2 varieties of work also which we will talk about. So let us see what is positive work. When do we say that the work done is positive and when do we say that the work done is negative? So let us first talk about positive work. So we say that the work is positive when the direction of displacement is same as the direction of force. That means, let us take some examples. Let us look at this example where a vehicle gets accelerated. What happens in this case? The force which is being applied is along this direction, and the vehicle is also moving along this direction. So that means force and displacement both are along the same direction. So we say that the work done is positive here. So this is an example of positive work. Similarly, if we take the example of apple falling down from a tree. So apple is falling down in this direction, so my displacement is in this direction, right? What is the direction of force? Which force is acting here? It is the gravitational force which is acting here. So the gravitational force also wants to attract it in the downward direction. So that means force and displacement both are along the same direction, and we say that the work done here is also positive. So whenever we talk of positive work, the direction of displacement and the direction of force has to be same, right? So now I think you would have guessed what is negative work. When I talk of negative work, the direction of displacement is opposite to the direction of force. Let us look at some examples. Let us take the example of the frictional force which we experience while walking. See, what enables us to work? Why are we able to work? That is because the floor on which we are walking, that is not frictionless. That is producing some resistance to our work. To our walking. So we are walking along this direction. So in this case, this guy is walking along this direction, but the floor, the ground is producing, or it is giving friction in the opposite direction. So in this case, we say that the work done is negative because the force is opposing the displacement. Again, look at the example of applying brakes while driving. In the previous slide, in positive work, we saw that the force applied was along this direction and the displacement was also along this direction. But in this case, let us suppose the vehicle wants to move in the forward direction, but you suddenly apply brakes. So you apply brakes means brakes are actually opposing the motion. So that means for that instant of time when you apply brakes, the displacement is along this direction, but you are applying force along this direction, right? So the force and displacement are in the opposite direction. So negative work comes into picture only when the force tries to oppose the displacement. So force tries to oppose the direction in which the object is actually moving. So only then negative work comes into picture. So here the direction of displacement is opposite to the direction of force. Right? So these are the two categories of work which we have talked about. One is positive work and the other one is negative work. Now let us try to look at some of the problems based on work. So the first problem says, certain force acting on a 20 kg mass changes its velocity from 5 meter per second to 2 meter per second. Calculate the work done by the force. Okay, so in this case we are given a mass of 20 kgs. So initial velocity of the mass was 5 meter per second. Final velocity of the mass is 2 meter per second. We have to calculate the work done by the force. Now by looking at this data, can you tell me the work done will be positive or negative? What did I say? When the force tries to oppose the motion of the object. So in this case, if you see, initially the velocity was 5 meter per second. Later the velocity decreased, right? So velocity decreased means because of the application of this force, the body's velocity reduced. So that means the force was trying to oppose the motion of the body. So that means the work should be negative. Right? So let us try to calculate and see if we actually get a negative value for work. Right? Now from the third equation of motion, we know that v square is equal to u square plus 2as. So from this we can say that displacement s is equal to v square minus u square by 2a. So now by definition of work, we know that work is equal to force multiplied by displacement. From Newton's second law, we know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. And from this second equation of motion, we found that S is equal to V square minus U square by 2A. So A and A will get cancelled. So we get half M V square minus U square. So this becomes equal to half into 20 into V square is 2 square minus U square is 5 square. So this is equal to 10 into 4 minus 25. So this comes out to be minus 210 joules. So that means 210 joules is the amount of work that was done by the force, and this negative sign shows that force is acting opposite to the direction of displacement, right? So this is my answer. Let us look at the next problem. It says a mass of 10 kg is at a point A on a table. So let us suppose this is my table. This is a mass of 10 kg. So it is lying at some point A. It is moved to a point B if the line joining A and B is horizontal. So the line joining A and B is horizontal, and now the box has been moved to this point B. So what is the work done on the object by the gravitational force? Now when I talk of the gravitational force is acting along which direction? The gravitational force will be acting along this direction. And what will be the gravitational force? That will be nothing but weight of the object, and weight of the object is m into g, that is mass into acceleration due to gravity. So this is the gravitational force, and the object is moving along the horizontal direction. So that means the force and the displacement, they are neither along the same direction. So the direction of force is this and the direction of displacement is this. So neither force and displacement are along the same direction, nor force and displacement are along opposite direction. So this is another important thing to note here. Whenever your force is perpendicular to displacement, then work done is equal to 0. If force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, then work done is equal to 0. Therefore, in this case, work done by the gravitational force is equal to 0. Now, there might be certain questions arising in your mind that why does this happen? Right? But I am not going into the depth of that, because at this level you are not aware of trigonometry. You have not studied trigonometry in your mathematics. So I will not go into the detail of this. You will get to know about it when you go to class 11. So for now, you should remember that when force and displacement are along the same direction, positive work. Force and displacement along opposite direction, negative work. Force and displacement at 90 degrees to each other, or force and displacement are perpendicular to each other, work done is 0. Right? Okay. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.